Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host Leo Nikishin, and this is Wine Glass Half Full. The weather here in the Netherlands has officially reached the too good to be true status, and definitely too good to continue for all that long from this point. So why not make the most out of the sunshine and get some extra bottled sunshine, which is what I got for you this week. It's Riporta Primitivo di Manduria, the 2017 vintage from Galangal. You see, this is not the most sophisticated wine. It's not the kind of wine that people taste and then stay silent for a couple of minutes, contemplating life choices that led them up to this moment. No. This is the kind of wine that you take a sip of, go, and then go on with the lively conversation that you were having just before. Or a slice of pizza. Or both. There is sun on the label, and it does not lie. It's a sunny, happy, cheerful kind of wine. But then, you also notice that that same label says Primitivo di Manduria, and that is where things get really interesting. Primitivo is a grape variety used for red wines, and no, it does not translate as primitive. It actually means early ripening, from Italian primo, meaning first. So it is typically ripe enough to be harvested when other grape varieties are still maturing. The historical home of Primitivo has been the heel of Italy's boot, in particular the part that is known as Primitivo di Manduria wine region. It's an area running approximately from Taranto on the coast to Francavilla Fontana in the north and Manduria to the southeast. I have been to the heel of Italy and would describe it in one word: hot. The vineyards there soak up all that heat and produce dense, strong, dark-colored wines that often need a few years in the bottle to soften up and taste their best. But my pick this week is on the lighter side of Primitivo. Sure, it will still appreciate being opened and then left to breathe for an hour or so, or even drunk over a couple of days. Just don't forget to close it well between tastings. And sure, the color is quite dense, ruby, but it already shows a nice balance between fruity, jammy flavors, think blackcurrant or strawberry jam, and a nice acidity, just enough to grip your mouth and make you take a second after a sip. It's 14% alcohol, so it's not a light wine, but it carries the alcohol quite well because there's enough fruit and there's enough flavor to cope with it. And all these qualities make this wine very food friendly. Coming from Italy, it's really not much of a surprise that it goes well with things like pasta and pizza, especially the meatier and heavier versions. But also, I reckon it will do well with Mexican and Tex-Mex cuisine, for example with chili con carne, because there's enough acidity and enough intensity to cope with the spice. And I think even steak and barbecued meats are not off limits for this wine. It's got the guts for it. So there you have it. Riporta Primitivo di Manduria 2017. Sun and good times in a bottle. This one is for my US viewers. Why don't Europeans drink more Zinfandel? Well, that depends on which Zinfandel you're talking about. Because if you're talking about the famous and extremely popular white blush, or white Zinfandel as it's also sometimes known, the very light and sweet rosé wine made from red Zinfandel grapes, then really it's more a question of timing and geography. Because by the late 1970s, when white Zinfandel became extremely popular in the States, Europe already had its own extremely popular, cheap and abundant and crowd-pleasing rosé darling, which is Mateus Rosé from Portugal. They're quite different wines, actually, but in a sense, the seat was already taken by the time white Zinfandel came about. However, if you're talking about the proper red wine made from Zinfandel, then you might be in for a bit of a surprise. DNA research showed that Zinfandel grapes are virtually identical to Primitivo. Of course, there are different theories on how exactly Zinfandel got to the States and why the name was changed. And of course, there's always a joke in there somewhere about Primitivo being pretty difficult to market in English-speaking countries. But yes, the Zinfandel, especially in California, has since established itself as a style of its own. But Primitivo and Zinfandel do produce somewhat similar wines. They all tend to be big and bold and powerful and just a whole lot of fun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please do engage in the whole like, comment, and subscribe thing, and click that bell button. I will be reviewing a wine every week, just in time to make sure that your wine glass stays half full during the weekend. Have fun.